Fentanyl is quickly becoming the leading cause of drug fatalities nationwide. It caused a record 71,000 deadly overdoses last year. That's almost twice as many as before the pandemic. Joining us now is Dr. Devi Nampiaparampil. I hope I got that right, Doctor. She runs Metropolis Pain Medicine in New York City. So, Doctor, a growing crisis, alarming as a dad and as parents across the country. What more should we be doing?
Well, at a basic level, I mean, we need policy changes to control the flow of these deadly drugs to our children, right? But until then, as with a lot of things, like with crime, we have to figure out what we can do on our own as individuals. So we need to figure out how to save our children's lives. And to do that, we need to know how to stop a drug overdose that's in process, right? So for kids, what happens is, or for anyone, when they're having a fentanyl overdose, what's happening is that they slow down their breathing and their oxygen level is going down. Now, normally when that happens, when you're running out of air, like in a drowning, you'll struggle and you'll resist. You'll try to do something to get more air. But if you're having an opioid overdose, what happens is that you get sedated and you're actually relaxed and you look usually pretty peaceful, like you're falling asleep. So that's why many times the people that are around you don't call 911 and they don't call for help. And this is why opioids are so dangerous. So what we really need to do as individuals is to educate our kids, even at a young age, and loved ones, family members, etc., that if there's any suspicion that a person could be having an overdose, that they really need to look at this sleeping, potentially peaceful-looking person and maybe call 911. So the ways that you can tell is if someone is breathing pretty slowly and softly, if they've been vomiting beforehand, if they've been nauseated, if there's any chance that they've been using opioids beforehand. Sometimes people will be drinking at the same time. So, you know, if they've been at a party and let's say they were vomiting, someone thinks, oh, well, they've been drinking, let them just sleep it off. No, you know, they really need to call 911 for help. Other things that might cause someone to hesitate, let's say they think, oh, you know, self-doubt. Bystanders often feel stunned. They're afraid of getting in trouble. They don't want to get involved. We really need to talk to our kids. I think also that everyone should have some kind of CPR, life support training. Sometimes to tell, how do you tell if someone's breathing sort of slowly? Sometimes you can grab a mirror and put it in front of someone, see, is it fogging up? You know, how well is this person breathing? Can you wake them up? If they're sleeping, you know, you just tap them, you shake them, they'll wake up quickly. Yep.
Doctor, obviously we're seeing more and more crossing our border as the border is on fire at this point. More and more fentanyl coming across the southern border. The poundage going up to 73.38 so far this year in 2022. My understanding is that it's hard to get the antidote. Why is that?
Well, there are a few different reasons for that. So first, you know, doctors can prescribe the antidote also to patients, and I've tried that as well. There are a few different problems. So first, patients aren't necessarily the ones that are at the highest risk of having a problem. But the reason I've tried prescribing it to patients is because I figured if they have it, then if someone around them accidentally uses their medication, let's say that an elderly patient has a teen that or a grandchild that tries to take their medication, at least the antidote is also there. Well, with rising co-pays, co-insurance, deductibles, sometimes the patients can't afford the antidote, so then they don't get it. On top of that, there's medical malpractice laws, right? So the malpractice laws tell you that if you think someone is going to have an overdose, then don't prescribe the opioid. So that also makes you hesitate to prescribe the antidote along with the drug. And then on top of that, it's not really accessible in places where people might have an overdose. So even if it might be available over the counter, it's not really there.
Very interesting. Dr. Devi, thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you.